Why do some people heal faster, glow brighter, and radiate peace while others struggle endlessly? What if your blood, the very life within you, could listen and respond to your words? Dr. Joseph Murphy said, "Your subconscious mind controls all the vital functions of your body. When you speak life, faith, and harmony into your blood, it obeys, restoring divine order." How? Through belief, repetition, and the quiet power of thought made real. In this video, you'll learn how to talk to your blood and awaken its divine intelligence. You are about to discover one of the most profound and transformative truths ever revealed to humankind. A truth that has been whispered through the ages by mystics and sages and spiritual teachers who understood the divine architecture that governs all life. And this truth is simply this: your blood is listening to you. Your blood is responding to you. Your blood carries within its crimson streams the intelligence of the infinite, the wisdom of the divine, the power of the Creator itself. And when you speak to your blood with authority and faith and understanding, when you direct your blood with conscious intention and spiritual awareness, your blood will obey you. Your blood will respond to you. Your blood will carry out the orders you give it, because your blood is not merely a physical substance flowing through your veins and arteries. Your blood is alive with the consciousness of God, alive with the creative power that spoke the universe into existence, alive with the same force that causes the sun to rise and the seasons to change and the tides to ebb and flow in perfect divine order. The secret of divine order is that there is an intelligence within you that knows exactly what to do, an intelligence that operates your heart without your conscious thought, that heals your wounds while you sleep, that orchestrates the intricate dance of billions of cells working in harmony every moment of every day. And this intelligence responds to your words, responds to your beliefs, and responds to your mental and emotional directives, because you are not separate from this intelligence. You are one with it. You are an expression of it. You are a channel through which the divine expresses itself in physical form. When you understand this truth, when you truly grasp the significance of this revelation, you will never again speak carelessly about your body. You will never again affirm disease or weakness or limitation. You will never again deny the perfection that seeks to express through you, because you will know that every word you speak, every thought you think, every belief you hold is a command to the infinite intelligence within you, a directive to the life force that animates your being, an instruction to the very atoms and molecules and cells that compose your physical temple. Your blood is the river of life, the carrier of nutrients and oxygen and healing substances to every part of your body, and your blood moves according to the law of circulation, according to divine principle, according to perfect order. But your blood also moves according to your faith, according to your conviction, according to the mental patterns you have established through repetition and belief. There was a woman who came to see Dr. Joseph Murphy many years ago, and this woman was suffering from a condition that had plagued her for years, a condition that the doctors had treated with various medications and therapies, but nothing had brought lasting relief. And Dr. Murphy asked her a simple question. He asked her what she said to herself every day about her body, what thoughts she entertained about her condition, what beliefs she held about her capacity to heal. And the woman admitted that she constantly affirmed her sickness. She constantly spoke about her pain. She constantly declared to anyone who would listen that she would never get well, that her condition was chronic, that she had resigned herself to a life of suffering. And Dr. Murphy explained to her that she was instructing her subconscious mind to maintain the very condition she wished to eliminate. She was commanding her blood to carry dis-ease rather than ease. She was directing the intelligence within her to perpetuate the pattern rather than dissolve it. And he taught her a new way. He taught her to speak to her blood with authority, to address the healing presence within her, to declare with faith and conviction that divine order was now established in every cell and every organ and every function of her body. She began to practice this faithfully. She began to say with feeling and understanding, "My blood carries perfect life to every part of my being. Divine order is now established in my body. The healing presence within me is making me whole and perfect." And she repeated these words not as empty phrases but as spiritual truths, not as hopeful wishes but as declarations of the law, not as uncertain prayers but as commands to the creative intelligence that governs all bodily functions. And within weeks, her condition began to improve. Within months, she was completely restored to health, and the doctors marveled at her recovery. But Dr. Murphy knew there was no marvel in it. There was only law. There was only the response of the subconscious mind to the new pattern she had impressed upon it. There was only the obedience of her blood to the new instructions she had given it through her faith-filled words and her sustained mental imagery. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. Your subconscious mind does not question the validity of your claims. Your subconscious mind simply accepts what you impress upon it and proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your body and in your experience. And this is why it is absolutely essential that you become aware of the nature of your habitual thinking, the character of your self-talk, the quality of the beliefs you hold about your physical being, because whether you realize it or not, you are constantly giving instructions to your blood. You are perpetually programming the intelligence within you. You are continuously creating the conditions that will manifest in your flesh. When you say, "I am getting old," you are commanding your blood to carry the chemistry of aging. When you say, "I always catch colds," you are instructing your immune system to be receptive to illness. When you say, "This disease runs in my family," you are directing your cells to reproduce the pattern of hereditary limitation. But none of these declarations represent truth. None of these statements reflect the divine order that is your birthright. None of these affirmations align with the perfect life that seeks to express through you. They are simply habits of thought and patterns of belief, mental grooves that have been worn deep through repetition and acceptance and ignorance of the law. The law is this: as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. As you think in your heart, so are you. As you speak, so do you create. And your blood is the faithful servant of your belief. Your blood is the obedient executor of your mental decrees. Your blood will manifest in your body whatever you consistently impress upon your subconscious mind through your thoughts and words and feelings. This is not superstition. This is not wishful thinking. This is not mere positive psychology. This is spiritual law. This is the principle by which all creation operates. This is the way the universe has been designed to function from the foundation of time. And when you align yourself with this law, when you cooperate with this principle, when you work in harmony with divine order rather than in opposition to it, you will witness transformations in your body that seem miraculous, but are simply the natural result of right thinking and right speaking and right believing. There was a man who told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been diagnosed with a serious heart condition, and this man was frightened. This man was convinced that his days were numbered. This man spent his time imagining his funeral and preparing his family for his imminent departure. And Dr. Murphy said to him, "You are not preparing for death. You are creating death. You are instructing your heart to fail because you have accepted the verdict of limitation. You have bowed to the tyranny of fear. You have surrendered your divine authority to the appearance of disease." And the man protested. He said the doctors had shown him the tests. The evidence was clear. The diagnosis was certain. But Dr. Murphy reminded him that diagnosis is not destiny, that medical opinion is not the final word, that the creative power within him was greater than any condition, greater than any prognosis, greater than any physical evidence, because the power that created his heart in the first place was still present within him, still available to him, still responsive to his faith and his word. Dr. Murphy taught this man to speak directly to his heart, to address his blood with confidence and love, to say with conviction and feeling, "My heart beats with the rhythm of divine order. My blood flows in perfect circulation. The life of God animates every cell of my heart. I am whole and strong and healthy." And the man began to practice this technique every morning and every evening. He began to visualize his heart functioning perfectly. He began to feel the reality of health and vitality and strength coursing through his body. And gradually his fear dissolved. Gradually his faith increased. Gradually his heart responded to the new pattern he was impressing upon his subconscious mind. And when he returned to his doctor months later, the tests showed remarkable improvement. The condition had stabilized, the prognosis had changed, and the man knew that he had not been healed by medicine alone, but by his cooperation with the healing principle within him, by his willingness to speak life rather than death, by his decision to command his blood rather than surrender to circumstance. The Bible tells us that the life is in the blood, and this is not merely a physiological observation. This is a profound spiritual truth. This is a revelation of the way consciousness operates through physical form, because your blood carries not only oxygen and nutrients, but also the vibration of your beliefs, the frequency of your emotions, the essence of your mental states. And when you are filled with fear, your blood carries the chemistry of fear. When you are consumed with anger, your blood carries the poison of anger. When you are depressed, your blood becomes sluggish with the heaviness of depression. But when you are filled with faith, your blood carries the elixir of faith. When you are joyful, your blood dances with the energy of joy. When you are confident, your blood flows with the power of confidence. And this is why the ancient wisdom traditions have always emphasized the importance of right thinking and right feeling and right believing, because they understood that consciousness and matter are not separate, that mind and body are one, that what you hold in your awareness must manifest in your flesh. Divine order means that everything in the universe operates according to law, according to principle, according to intelligence, and there is divine order in the movement of your blood, divine order in the beating of your heart, divine order in the respiration of your lungs, divine order in the digestion of your food, divine order in the elimination of waste, the divine order in the healing of wounds, divine order in every function and every process and every activity of your physical body. And this divine order is always seeking to express through you, always seeking to maintain perfect balance and harmony and health. But divine order can only operate through the channel of your consciousness. Divine order requires your cooperation. Divine order demands your faith. And when you align your thinking with divine order, when you speak in harmony with divine order, when you believe in accordance with divine order, then the intelligence within you is free to manifest the perfection that is your true nature. You must understand that your body is not your enemy. Your body is not working against you. Your body is not the source of your problems. Your body is always seeking to serve you, always attempting to maintain equilibrium, always striving to express the divine pattern that is encoded in your spiritual DNA. But your body can only respond to the instructions it receives from your conscious and subconscious mind. Your body has no choice but to manifest the beliefs you hold. Your body is compelled by law to externalize the mental patterns you have established through repetition and acceptance. And this is why so many people suffer needlessly. This is why so many individuals experience chronic conditions that seem resistant to treatment. This is why so many souls endure physical limitations that have no basis in divine truth, because they have never learned to speak to their blood with authority. They have never discovered the power of commanding their body with faith. They have never understood that they are not victims of their physical condition, but creators of their physical experience through the law of mind. When you speak to your blood, you are not engaging in some primitive or superstitious practice. You are utilizing the most advanced spiritual technology available to human consciousness. You are activating the creative principle that governs all manifestation. You are directing the infinite intelligence that knows how to heal every condition and solve every problem and overcome every obstacle, because the same power that created your body in your mother's womb is still within you. The same intelligence that formed you from 2 cells into a complex organism of trillions of cells working in perfect coordination is still available to you. The same wisdom that knows how to grow your hair and digest your food and filter toxins from your blood is still responsive to your word. And when you speak to this intelligence with faith and conviction and understanding, when you address this power with reverence and gratitude and authority, when you command this presence with clarity and persistence and feeling, your blood will respond. Your cells will obey. Your body will manifest the divine order that is its true inheritance. Consider the analogy of a garden, for your body is like a garden, and your blood is like the water that nourishes the garden. And just as a gardener directs water to the plants that need it most, Just as a gardener controls the flow and the distribution and the timing of irrigation, so too must you learn to direct your blood with conscious intention, to guide your life force with spiritual wisdom, to channel your healing energy according to divine principle, rather than leaving it to run wild, according to the patterns of fear and doubt and negative belief. A garden left untended will grow weeds. A garden without direction will produce chaos. A garden abandoned to chance will yield a poor harvest. But a garden that is cultivated with care and attention and knowledge will flourish and blossom and bear abundant fruit, and your body is no different. Your blood requires your conscious direction. Your healing intelligence needs your faith-filled cooperation. Your divine order demands your active participation through the power of your word and the authority of your belief. And when you accept this responsibility, when you claim this power, when you exercise this dominion that is your spiritual birthright, you will discover that your body is far more responsive than you ever imagined. Your blood is far more obedient than you ever believed. Your capacity for health and vitality and strength is far greater than you ever dreamed possible. Because you are made in the image and likeness of the infinite, you are a channel for divine life. You are a temple for the living God. And the life that flows through you is not limited by material conditions or medical diagnoses or hereditary patterns. The life that flows through you is the unconditioned, unlimited, unrestricted life of the Creator itself. And this life will express through your blood, through your cells, and through your entire being, when you give it permission through your faith, when you direct it through your word, when you command it through your understanding of divine order. There was a woman who came to one of Dr. Joseph Murphy's lectures, and after the lecture, she approached him with tears in her eyes, and she said, "Dr. Murphy, I have tried everything. I have seen every specialist. I have taken every medication. I have followed every protocol, but my condition only grows worse, and I do not know what else to do." And Dr. Murphy looked at her with compassion, and he asked her, "What do you say to yourself about your condition every day?" And the woman replied, "I tell myself the truth. I tell myself what the doctors have told me. I tell myself that my condition is incurable, that I must learn to live with it, that there is no hope for complete recovery." "And Doctor," Murphy said to her, "you are not telling yourself the truth. You are telling yourself a lie, because the truth is that God is your health. The truth is that divine life flows through you. The truth is that there is no incurable condition in divine mind, and every time you affirm limitation, you are rejecting truth and accepting falsehood. Every time you declare hopelessness, you are denying the presence of the infinite healer within you. Every time you speak of your condition as permanent, you are instructing your subconscious mind to make it permanent." And he taught her to reverse her thinking, to reverse her speaking, to reverse her believing. He taught her to say, "Divine order is now established in my body. My blood carries perfect life to every cell. The healing presence within me is now restoring me to wholeness." And he instructed her to say these words not once or twice, but many times throughout the day, to saturate her consciousness with this truth, and to impress this pattern upon her subconscious mind through repetition and feeling and conviction. And the woman went home, and she began to practice what Dr. Murphy had taught her. She began to speak to her blood with authority. She began to address the intelligence within her with faith. She began to command her body to align with divine order, and at first, nothing seemed to change. At first, the symptoms remained. At first, doubt crept in and whispered that this was foolishness. But she persisted. She continued to speak life. She refused to return to her old pattern of negative affirmation, and gradually something began to shift within her. Gradually she felt a new energy flowing through her body. Gradually the symptoms began to diminish, and within 6 months, she was completely free of the condition that had tormented her for years. And she returned to Dr. Murphy, and she said, "How is this possible? How did words change my physical condition?" And he explained to her that words had not changed her condition. Consciousness had changed her condition. Belief had changed her condition. Faith had changed her condition. because words are simply the vehicles of consciousness. Words are the expression of belief. Words are the carriers of mental states. And when she changed her words, she changed her consciousness. When she changed her consciousness, she changed her subconscious patterns. When she changed her subconscious patterns, she changed the instructions being given to her blood and her cells and her entire body. And her body, being obedient to the law, had no choice but to manifest the new pattern she had impressed upon it. Your blood does not know the difference between what the doctor tells you and what you tell yourself. Your blel, ood, does not distinguish between medical opinion and personal belief. Your blood simply responds to the dominant impression in your subconscious mind. And if the dominant impression is one of disease and limitation and decline, then your blood will carry the chemistry of disease and limitation and decline. But if the dominant impression is one of health and vitality and divine order, then your blood will carry the substance of health and vitality and divine order. And this is why you must guard your mind carefully. This is why you must monitor your self-talk vigilantly. This is why you must protect your consciousness from the invasion of negative suggestions, whether they come from medical authorities or well-meaning friends or your own habitual patterns of thought. Because you are the master of your inner world. You are the ruler of your mental kingdom. You are the one who decides what will be impressed upon your subconscious mind, and therefore what will be expressed in your body. The law is impersonal. The law does not care whether your beliefs are based on truth or falsehood. The law simply executes whatever you consistently believe and feel and declare. And this is both the great danger and the great opportunity of human life. The great danger is that you can create disease and suffering through ignorant use of the law. The great opportunity is that you can create health and vitality through conscious cooperation with the law. And the choice is always yours. The power is always within you. The authority is always available to you. Because you have been given dominion over your inner world, and whatever you establish in your inner world must manifest in your outer world, including the world of your physical body. When you speak to your blood, speak as one having authority, speak as one who knows the law, speak as one who understands that divine intelligence is listening and responding and obeying. Do not speak tentatively. Do not speak doubtfully. Do not speak as one who is merely hoping for change. Speak as one who is commanding change. Speak as one who is declaring truth. Speak as one who knows that the creative power within you has no choice but to respond to your faith-filled word, because this is law, this is principle, this is the way the universe operates, and when you align yourself with the law, you tap into a power that is greater than any condition, greater than any circumstance, greater than any limitation that has ever been imposed upon you by heredity or environment or past experience. The ancient teachers understood this principle. The mystics of old knew this secret. The spiritual masters of every tradition have taught this truth in different languages and different contexts, but always with the same essential message. Consciousness creates, mind manifests, belief becomes experience. And your body is not separate from your consciousness. Your body is not independent of your mind. Your body is the outer expression of your inner belief. And if you want to change your body, you must first change your belief. If you want to heal your body, you must first heal your thinking. If you want to establish divine order in your flesh, you must first establish divine order in your consciousness. This is why affirmations are so powerful when they are used correctly. This is why prayer is so effective when it is offered with faith. This is why visualization produces results when it is practiced with feeling and conviction, because all of these techniques are ways of impressing new patterns upon the subconscious mind. All of these methods are means of instructing your blood to carry new chemistry. All of these practices are forms of speaking to the intelligence within you and commanding it to manifest a different reality and the subconscious mind. Being the servant of your conscious mind has no choice but to accept the new impression and proceed to bring it into physical manifestation through the vehicle of your blood and your cells and your entire bodily system. You are not at the mercy of your body. You are the master of your body. You are not the victim of disease. You are the creator of health. You are not powerless before physical conditions. You are powerful beyond measure when you understand and apply the law of mind, when you speak to your blood with authority, when you command your body to align with divine order, when you impress upon your subconscious mind the truth of your divine nature and your perfect inheritance and your unlimited capacity to manifest health and vitality and strength through cooperation with the healing principle that resides within you always and forever. There was a man who suffered from chronic pain, and this man had been to many doctors and many specialists and many therapists, and no one could find the cause of his pain. No one could provide lasting relief, and the man became bitter and resentful and angry. He became consumed with his suffering. He became identified with his pain, and everywhere he went, he spoke of his misery. To everyone he met, he described his symptoms. At every opportunity, he rehearsed the story of his affliction, and Dr. Joseph Murphy explained to him that he was strengthening the very condition he wished to eliminate. He was reinforcing the pattern through constant repetition. He was instructing his blood to maintain the chemistry of pain through his perpetual affirmation of pain. And the man protested. He said, "But the pain is real. The pain is constant. How can I deny what I am experiencing?" And Dr. Murphy said, "I am not asking you to deny your present experience. I am asking you to stop perpetuating your present experience. I am asking you to stop giving it power through your attention and your words. I am asking you to withdraw your mental and emotional investment from the condition and invest instead in the vision of yourself as whole and free and comfortable." And he taught the man a new practice. He taught the man to spend time each day speaking to his blood, speaking to his nervous system, speaking to every cell and every tissue of his body, saying with conviction and authority, "Divine order is established in my body. Every nerve responds perfectly to divine harmony. My blood carries peace and comfort to every part of my being. I am free and whole and perfect in divine mind." And the man was skeptical at first, but he was also desperate. And desperation sometimes opens the door to faith when nothing else will. And he began to practice what Dr. Murphy taught him. He began to speak to his body differently. He began to address his blood with commands rather than complaints. He began to impress upon his subconscious mind a new pattern of harmony and ease. And slowly, gradually, persistently, the pain began to diminish. The intensity decreased. The frequency reduced. And within several months, the chronic pain that had plagued him for years was completely gone, and he marveled at this transformation. And Dr. Murphy reminded him that there was no marvel in it, there was only law. There was only the faithful response of the subconscious mind to the new pattern that had been established through conscious direction and faithful repetition and emotionalized belief. Your blood is the river of your life. And just as a river can be directed into channels that water gardens and nourish crops, just as a river can be guided to turn wheels and generate power, just as a river can be managed to prevent flooding and bring blessing instead of destruction, so too can your blood be directed by your conscious mind. So too can your life force be guided by your faith-filled word. So too can your healing energy be managed through your understanding of divine order and your willingness to cooperate with the intelligence that seeks to express perfection through you. Most people are like passengers in a taxi who do not tell the driver where they want to go. They simply sit in the back seat, hoping the driver will somehow intuit their destination, and when the taxi takes them somewhere they do not wish to be, they complain and they blame the driver. But they never consider that they failed to give clear instructions. They never realize that they neglected to speak with authority and clarity about where they wanted to go. And your subconscious mind is like that taxi driver, always ready to take you wherever you direct it, always willing to manifest whatever you consistently impress upon it, always faithful to create in your experience and in your body whatever you establish in your consciousness through your habitual thoughts and feelings and words. If you want health, speak health. If you want vitality, declare vitality. If you want divine order, affirm divine order and speak not occasionally but regularly, Speak not tentatively but authoritatively. Speak not doubtfully but confidently. Speak as one who knows that the creative intelligence within you is listening and responding and manifesting. Speak as one who understands that your blood is the faithful servant of your belief. Speak as one who recognizes that divine order is not something you must earn or deserve or qualify for. Divine order is your birthright. Divine order is your true nature. Divine order is the reality that seeks to express through you when you remove the obstacles of wrong belief and negative thinking and fearful speaking. The Bible says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." And this is not metaphorical language. This is literal truth. This is a description of the law. This is an explanation of how consciousness operates through speech to create reality. Because your tongue is the instrument of your consciousness. Your words are the vehicles of your belief. Your speech is the channel through which your mental states are impressed upon your subconscious mind and therefore upon your body. And when you speak words of death, you activate the law of death. When you speak words of disease, you energize the pattern of disease. When you speak words of limitation, you strengthen the experience of limitation. But when you speak words of life, you activate the law of life. When you speak words of health, you energize the pattern of health. When you speak words of divine order, you strengthen the experience of harmony and perfection and wholeness in every function and every organ and every cell of your physical being. This is why the wise have always counseled careful speech. This is why the enlightened have always practiced mindful communication. This is why the spiritually awakened have always understood that words are not merely sounds or symbols, but creative forces that shape reality. And when you speak to your blood, you are exercising the highest form of creative power available to human consciousness. You are directing the fundamental life force that animates your being. You are commanding the intelligence that governs every biological function. And this intelligence is waiting for your direction. This power is ready for your command. This life is eager to express through you in perfect divine order when you give it permission through your faith, when you guide it through your word, when you cooperate with it through your understanding of spiritual law. You must never forget that your subconscious mind is always listening. Your inner intelligence is always receptive. Your blood is always responding to the dominant thoughts and feelings and beliefs that occupy your consciousness. And this means that every moment of every day, you are either building health or building disease. You are either establishing order or perpetuating disorder. You are either creating vitality or creating decline through the nature of your habitual mental and emotional states. And this is why vigilance is so important. This is why awareness is so essential. This is why you must become conscious of the unconscious patterns that have been running your life and producing your physical conditions. Because most people live their entire lives on automatic pilot. Most people never examine the beliefs they have inherited from parents and society and past experience. Most people never question the negative affirmations they repeat to themselves day after day. And consequently, most people create by default rather than by design. They manifest by accident rather than by intention. They experience disease and limitation not because it is their destiny, but because it is the natural result of unconscious negative programming that has never been challenged or reversed or replaced with truth. The truth is that you are a spiritual being. The truth is that divine life flows through you. The truth is that perfect health is your natural state. The truth is that your body knows how to heal itself when you remove the interference of wrong belief. The truth is that your blood carries within it the intelligence of the infinite and will respond to your commands when those commands are given with faith and authority and persistence. And when you accept this truth, when you align yourself with this truth, when you build your life upon this truth, you will discover powers within yourself that you never knew existed. You will tap into resources that have always been available, but were blocked by ignorance and fear. You will manifest in your body a level of health and vitality and strength that seems miraculous, but is simply the natural expression of divine order, operating through a consciousness that has learned to cooperate with the law rather than violate it through negative thinking and fearful speaking and limited believing. Consider how your body already demonstrates divine order in countless ways. Consider how your heart beats approximately 100,000 times per day without your conscious direction. Consider how your lungs breathe approximately 20,000 times per day without your deliberate control. Consider how your stomach digests your food and your liver filters toxins and your kidneys purify your blood and your immune system fights infections and your skin repairs itself and your bones knit together when broken. All of this happening automatically, all of this occurring intelligently, all of this proceeding according to divine order. And if this intelligence can do all of this without your conscious participation, imagine what it can do when you consciously cooperate with it. Imagine what can happen when you deliberately direct it. Imagine the healing and the restoration and the transformation that can take place when you speak to your blood with the authority of one who knows the law and understands the power and believes in the principle. You are not trying to force your body to do something unnatural. You are simply removing the obstacles that prevent your body from doing what it naturally wants to do. You are not imposing health upon an unwilling organism. You are simply allowing health to flow through an organism that is designed for health. You are not creating something new. You are uncovering something that has always been there, revealing the divine perfection that is your true nature, manifesting the harmony that is your spiritual birthright, and your blood is the medium through which this manifestation occurs. Your blood is the carrier of this transformation. Your blood is the river through which divine order flows from consciousness into physical expression. And when you speak to your blood, you are not speaking to mere physical substance. You are speaking to living intelligence. You are addressing creative power. You are commanding the very life force that sustains your existence, moment by moment and breath by breath. There was a woman who had suffered for many years with a blood disorder, and the doctors had tried various treatments, but nothing had produced lasting results. And she came to Dr. Joseph Murphy in desperation. And he asked her what she believed about her condition. And she said she believed it was genetic. She believed it was inherited. She believed she was a victim of her family history, and Dr. Murphy explained to her that heredity is not destiny, that genetic patterns are simply tendencies, not certainties, that what was impressed upon her genes in the past does not have to be expressed in her body in the present, because consciousness is superior to genetics, mind is greater than matter, spirit transcends all physical limitations. And he taught her to speak directly to her blood, to say with conviction and feeling, "My blood is the blood of the living God. My blood is pure and perfect and whole. My blood carries only life and health and vitality. Every cell of my blood is renewed according to divine pattern. I am free from all hereditary limitations. Divine order is now established in my bloodstream." And he instructed her to visualize her blood flowing clear and pure and radiant with light, to see in her mind's eye the perfection that existed in divine mind, to feel in her body the sensation of perfect health and vitality and strength. And the woman practiced this faithfully every morning and every evening. She saturated her consciousness with this vision. She impressed upon her subconscious mind this new pattern, and gradually her blood began to respond. Gradually the disorder began to correct itself. Gradually the tests began to show improvement, and within a year she was completely healed. And her doctors were amazed, and they asked her what she had done, and she told them she had learned to speak to her blood, she had learned to command her body, she had learned to impress upon her subconscious mind the truth of divine order, and the doctors dismissed her explanation as impossible. But the woman knew better. The woman had experienced the law in operation. The woman had proven through her own demonstration that consciousness is causative, that belief creates biology, that faith can reprogram genetics, that speaking to your blood with authority and understanding produces results that medicine alone cannot achieve. Your responsibility is not to understand all the mechanisms by which consciousness affects matter. Your responsibility is not to explain all the ways that mind influences body. Your responsibility is simply to accept the principle, to apply the law, to practice the technique, to speak to your blood with faith and authority and persistence, and the law will take care of the details. The intelligence within you will manage the process. The creative power that formed you will restore you and maintain you and perfect you according to the divine pattern that is held in infinite mind. Do not concern yourself with how it works. Concern yourself only with working it. Do not waste time trying to comprehend the incomprehensible. Invest your time instead in practicing the practical. Do not allow intellectual doubt to paralyze your faith. Allow faith to transcend intellectual limitation and prove itself through demonstration. Because the proof is in the practice, the evidence is in the experience, the validation is in the results that manifest when you cooperate with the law consistently and persistently and with full conviction that your blood is listening and responding and obeying your faith-filled commands. You are the master of your body, not the servant of your body. You are the director of your blood, not the victim of your blood. You are the one who decides what will be established in your flesh through what you establish in your consciousness. And when you accept this responsibility, when you claim this authority, when you exercise this dominion, you step into your true power, you align with your divine nature. You become a conscious creator rather than an unconscious victim. And your body responds by manifesting the health and the vitality and the strength that has always been your birthright, but could not express until you gave it permission through your faith, until you directed it through your word, until you commanded it through your understanding of divine order and your willingness to speak to your blood as one having authority. Every cell in your body is being renewed constantly, every tissue is being replaced regularly, every organ is being rebuilt continuously. Science tells us that within 7 years, every cell in your body will have been replaced, and this means that you have the opportunity every single day to impress a new pattern upon these new cells. You have the chance every single moment to speak into existence a new body. You have the power every single breath to command your blood to carry a new chemistry, a new vibration, a new frequency that aligns with divine perfection rather than human limitation. And if you will seize this opportunity, if you will claim this chance, if you will exercise this power through conscious direction and faithful affirmation and persistent visualization, you will witness a transformation in your body that will astonish you and inspire you and convince you beyond all doubt that speaking to your blood is not mere metaphor or wishful thinking or psychological trick. Speaking to your blood is the activation of the most fundamental creative law in the universe. The law that says, consciousness precedes form. The law that declares mind shapes matter. The law that proclaims belief becomes biology. You are not your body. You have a body. You are consciousness using a body. You are spirit expressing through a body. You are the immortal self inhabiting a temporary vehicle, and this vehicle responds to your commands. This body obeys your directives. This flesh manifests your beliefs. And when you speak to your blood, you are exercising the authority that has always been yours by divine right. You are claiming the dominion that was given to you from the foundation of creation. You are stepping into the power that is your true inheritance as a child of the Most High, as an expression of infinite intelligence, as a channel for divine life. Your blood is listening to you right now. Your cells are responding to you in this very moment. Your subconscious mind is accepting as true whatever you are consistently thinking and feeling and believing and declaring. And if you will begin today to speak words of life, if you will start immediately to affirm divine order, if you will practice faithfully the technique of addressing your blood with authority and conviction and love, you will set in motion forces that will transform your body, that will heal your conditions, that will establish in your flesh the perfection that has always existed in spirit, waiting only for your recognition, waiting only for your acceptance, waiting only for your command to manifest through the vehicle of your blood and express as radiant health and boundless vitality and the unmistakable evidence that divine order governs all.